Welcome back to our weekly segment of discussions on the new Table app update. This week, we want to discuss the key component behind the thousands of translated sermons that are available within the Table app on devices around the world. You've most likely heard it discussed on past podcast episodes. It's called Omega. To start with, the name Omega was carefully chosen for this new system. As you know from the message, Omega means the end, and we're believing this will be the final translation system needed to finish the job. The new Omega interface is not just a piece of software. It is a complete system that was tailored designed by our own software engineers. This was done around the knowledge of brothers who have been involved with the translation work for decades. It has changed the entire structure of VGR and how we get the message translated and into the hands of believers around the world. To put it plainly, it is a vision that is finally coming true. Starting in its infancy in 2013 as an in-house tool used only by VGR Jeffersonville, this software was designed and built from the ground up to make translating the message of the hour as efficient and high quality as possible. Believe it or not, every translated manuscript once had to be hand-typed, mailed from overseas to the U.S., processed and line-checked by VGR Jeffersonville, then mailed back to the translator to perform a final proof, and then mailed to us once again to finalize prior to printing the book. You can imagine the time and resources this took. We then migrated to the email system, which was a big improvement for sending files back and forth. But there was still a lot of manual labor involved in the many steps. Now, in Omega, we assign new sermons to translators in each language by the push of a button. Once they receive the assignment notification, they log in to their Omega account, where they will see the new translation job. The first time they see the sermon, it has already been pre-translated using one of our custom tools. These auto-generated translations are simply used as a starting point to reduce the busy work of typing. Translators will then carefully review every word, line by line, and make any necessary corrections so that the final product precisely reflects the English message to the foreign listeners. Once a translator completes their initial translation draft, a simple button push will automatically pass that job along to the next translator in the multi-step proofing process. No more sending files by mail or email. The proofing translator then relooks at every caption in the sermon, makes any necessary changes, and then pushes a button to send the job on to VGR Jeffersonville for line checking. At this step, the translation is checked for any potential errors before hitting a button to send it back to the translator to make any necessary corrections. Omega provides all this in an easy-to-follow layout, with the English text broken into small caption-sized segments. These smaller captions make it easy to stay focused, which helps reduce typing errors and fatigue. There are also tools that highlight punctuation mistakes and other formatting errors. The most important tool, however, is a play button included on each caption that allows translators to hear exactly how Brother Branham speaks and emphasizes his words in each statement. Once the final corrections are submitted for a translation, now it is ready to finalize and release. Even this final step is done within Omega, where the final translated sermons are pushed out to the web to be downloaded on Agapo tablets and mobile devices around the world. There are also more advanced features built into Omega. With every completed translation in each language, Omega remembers all words, phrases, and expressions. This new content is then used to update our auto-translation system. This process is continually repeated, meaning that with time, Omega will get better and better at providing more accurate pre-translated sermons for our translators. In all, the Omega translation system has revolutionized the message translation work. It has not only greatly increased the number of translated sermons, but we've seen a proven higher quality of translations with fewer errors than ever before. Where once a single sermon would take months to complete, it can now be done in a matter of days before it is released directly into the hands of the bride. Last year alone, a record number of 1,646 new translated sermons were completed in Omega in 63 different languages. This year, we're projected to reach over 2,000 translated sermons. We thank the Lord for raising the bar once again, and we can't wait to see what He has in store next.